In this video, we will create an object access report. This report, once we've created it, will show us all audited file system actions grouped by user on a specific folder we've shared in our environment. In this case, it will be a share where departmental data is stored. The prerequisites for the object access report are that you have object access auditing enabled on the computer on which the file system data resides. In my case, I've turned it on using group policy. Then you will need to use the Security tab on the Properties window of a file or folder to enable auditing of specific events on that file or folder. Once you've done this and you are certain that your settings have been applied, the Security event log should begin auditing the activity. To generate my report, I will expand the Reports node and then right-click on the File System Access folder. I created this folder myself for organizational purposes. If it is not already expanded, you'll want to expand Log Monitors, then Event Logs, and then select the Object Access Report. Note that once you have selected the report, a brief description of that report will show up on the right-hand side of the window. On the General tab, I will name my report Object Access Department Shares and leave the description blank for now. The only other thing I will change on this tab is that I will set my execution frequency to daily. All object access information is stored in the Security event log on the server hosting the files or folders. We can limit our reports to include only specific consolidated logs if we want, but for our demonstration purposes, I will leave this dialog blank and just include them all. On the Options tab, I will leave the Summarize option unchecked. I mentioned earlier that I want to group my results by user, so I will select that from the Group By drop-down, and I want to filter my results to only show activity from the department data share. I've previously created a filter for that, so I will select that filter. The filter is very straightforward. I just made sure that the event came from the server hosting my file share and that the body of the event contained the path to the share. This is where we can select the date and time range to include within the report. For this report, we're going to leave it set the way it is to display information from the last 7 days. Here, you may choose to include or exclude specific users. This would be useful, for example, if you have a service account that your backup software runs as and you want to exclude activity generated by that particular service account. I have previously created an action that will save the results of my report to a PDF file, and I will select that action now. I will also select the option to drop any report that contains no data. For our purposes, the settings on the History tab do not need to be adjusted, so I will simply add the host for which I want the report to be scheduled. Now we will view our report to see what it looks like. Now we're going to see the settings that we specified earlier when we created this report. We could customize them in this case if we wanted to, but we're just going to leave them the way they are. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to click the View Report button when the report is ready. Now we have our report.